Episode 8 is a turning point. Since Matt Murdock put the mask back on in Episode 5, things have gotten worse, fast. Muse was only around for a short time, but what he did left a mark. And then Heather Glenn killed him. That moment didn't just end a life. It pushed the city toward chaos. Now in Episode 8, the pressure builds. New York feels ready to explode. This episode brings back a lot of storylines. We see Adam still locked up against his will. We see the fallout of Muse's death. Matt is stuck with hard choices. He's realizing that going back to being Daredevil has consequences. In Episode 7, he told Heather that nothing in his life felt real. Episode 8 asks the question, what if he was right? Matt and Fisk are still enemies. But it's different now. One of the biggest things in Born Again is how similar Matt and Fisk really are. They're both two people living double lives. And now, in Episode 8, that's clearer than ever. Once they both accepted who they really are, everything shifted. Fisk changes how he runs the city. He gets more open with Vanessa. At first, he tries to hide the worst parts of himself. But he can't keep that up. When he finally tells her the truth, she doesn't run. She leans in. That changes everything in their relationship. But that honest moment comes after a tragedy. And it's not an easy win. On the other side, Matt and Heather are falling apart. He's struggling to accept that she killed someone. She's pushing back harder against vigilantism. It reminds you of Daredevil Season 2, when Matt and Karen argued over Frank Castle. Heather and Matt are having the same kind of moral clash. She doesn't believe in what he's doing, but Matt can't stop. He needs to be Daredevil, and that need is wrecking the normal life he tried to build. There's a theme here that's been in superhero stories for a long time. Heroes suffer, villains don't. That's what we see in Episode 8. Fisk is doing great. He's never had this much power, and he wants more. Matt was okay when he wasn't fighting, but now that he's back in it, the struggle is worse than ever. The second he put on the mask, the pain came with it. Fisk finally drops the act. Jack Duquesne came back from Hawkeye, and no one really knew why. In this episode, it becomes clear. He's here to show how deep Fisk's power runs. Fisk doesn't just have political power, he has real control. Even Jack, who's now using the name Swordsman, gets pulled into it. Then there's Daniel Blade. At first, he's just a yes man, but now he's stronger, louder, and more dangerous. He's proof that even the people around Fisk can become serious threats. But the biggest problem? The Anti-Vigilante Task Force. The AVTF does whatever Fisk says. They don't just target people like Daredevil. They're a risk to anyone in the city. Fisk having his own militia makes him more dangerous than ever. He's not just a mayor, he's a boss. And now, there's a real war coming between the law and the people trying to protect the city in their own way. And the scariest part? All it took was one honest conversation with Vanessa to put this in motion. Episode 8 connects it all. This episode pulls everything together. Loose ends get tied. One huge moment is the return of Bullseye. After he killed Foggy Nelson, he was locked up. We barely heard his name. Now he's back. And Matt has to do something he never thought he'd do. Save him. That moment says a lot. Matt had the chance to stop Bullseye for good. He didn't. Now he's stuck cleaning up that choice. It's about consequences. One decision comes back in a big way. Other people are making big moves too. Bibi Urich is one of them. She's changing the city's politics. And it's going to matter going forward. The heart of this episode is sacrifice. Matt is always trying to save people, but what happens if he saves the wrong one? Or if he can't save someone who matters? That's the weight he carries. Heather's story shows what that looks like. Fisk, on the other hand, has always had some kind of power. He knows how to use it. Now, as mayor, he's tearing the city apart, bit by bit. He's not hiding anymore. And Vanessa? She plays a huge role. Ayelet Zurer stands out in this episode. When Matt confronts Vanessa, it's one of the strongest scenes. It's tense, raw, and honest. The finale is coming. Episode 8 sets the stage for something big. Everything is in place for the final showdown. Matt is deeper into being Daredevil than ever. Fisk has more power than ever. Something has to give. But what makes this episode strong isn't just the setup. It's the way it shows these people for who they really are. Matt and Fisk aren't just hero and villain, they're human. They've made mistakes. They've both done good and bad things. And they're both trying to live with it. Soon, they'll face each other again. And the fallout won't just hit them, it'll hit the whole city, whether they're ready or not. Thank you for watching. See you next time.